Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this we're going to build AI powered fitness coach that generates a personalized workout plans using the LangChain and OpenAI. The backend is developed using the FastAPI and SQLite where we store the user profiles and the workout history using SQL. So in this project, we're going to implement a good front end using the Flask, HTML and CSS to allow user to register, request workouts and chat with AI fitness coach as well. So chatbot uses the GPT-4 and provides a real-time response for the fitness queries like how to do plank or any other question. So it even remembers the conversation during a session. So this full stack application showcase how AI databases and modern web development can come together to create a smart interactive coaching experience. So let's start building. All right, so now let's start with the process. Okay, the first step is to create the empty folder for our project. Let me just go here and create a new folder. I'll just name this folder as Euron AI powered fitness coach. Okay, fitness coach. And let me just get into this a folder. Okay, so right now this folder is empty. And so in this project, I'll be using Conda to create an environments. So in case if you're not familiar with the Conda environments, you can try with a Python venv module. Okay, so but for the project, so either you need to create an environment using Conda or venv model. But here in my project, so I'll be using, if you're following along, I'll be using a Conda environment. So I hope you have worked with the Conda environment if you have already learned the machine learning. If you don't have Conda in your system, you can just go and install it. You can go to Chrome and type Anaconda Navigator and just do next. Okay, Anaconda Navigator will be installed. And to verify, just go and search here Conda prompt. Okay, if you can see this, it means that there is a Conda in your system. All right, so now this folder is empty. Let me just open this into a VS Code from where I can create the environment. So here, let me just go to the Anaconda prompt. Anaconda prompt, and here let me just do cd into this and type code dot. Okay, so this will open the VS Code in the same folder. So where I've created, it's Euron AI powered fitness coach. And here let me just create an environment. I'll go to terminal, create a new terminal, and here I'll go to the command prompt and let me just create an environment. Okay, right now I'm inside this base environment. To create an environment, so let me just write down. Okay, so let's create an environment. So to create an environment, so we'll type conda create. Just a second. Yeah, let me just write on. So conda create. So conda create hyphen name and the name of the environment. Okay, I'll just give here Euron AI fitness v2. Okay, so v2. And so here the Python version is very important. So Python version which I'm using is 3.9, and let's do enter. So this create a environment with the name Euron AI Fitness v2. So yes, I want to create it. Let's give the permission. All right, so now let's activate this environment. So I'll type here conda activate and the environment name. So environment name is Euron AI fitness v2. So I was in the base. Now I have activated this particular environment. All right. So the next step is to create a very important file called .env file. So here we're gonna keep all our API keys. Okay. So I'll just type here .env. So here already have the API key. Let me just copy and paste that. Control C, and I let me just paste it. Control S. All right. So next file is the requirements.txt. so which basically requires to install the dependencies for our project. So requirements requirements dot txt, and here already have the requirements. Let me just copy and paste that. So make sure you just install the same version of the requirements. So already we have 128 requirements. Let me do uh, control S. Okay, so and to install this, so we need to type pip install -r requirements dot txt and do enter. So it will install all the dependencies. So let's wait. So make sure you install the same version. Okay, Python is 3.9 and all the dependencies has to be the same version. So in case if you're using some other Python version and if you try to install this, there could be a lot of dependencies issues. Okay, so make sure you install the same version of Python in the environment which have used it. So it's almost done. So let's wait. Okay, so this got created. So now the next step is, let me just go and create a new script. Okay, so this will be my logging script. So I'll just name this as logger.py. So inside the logger.py, we're gonna set in our project we're gonna set the logging as well, right? So let's go and add the code for the logging. So import logging. So I'll just tell here import logging logging, and the next, let me just do the basic setup. So I hope you know logging, so you would have learned that in the Python classes. So logging dot basic config. So basic config, and here, so I need to enter the file name. The file name I'll just give as app.log over here. All right, so next, so I need to give the level. So level, I'll just set this to logging dot info. Logging dot info. So next, I'm gonna set the format, and here the format is percentage ASC time in seconds. So next, this is just a format of the log. Okay, so percentage level name, and so next percentage message and this is the format. Okay, so we'll have the time level and the message. So now we need to define the method, so which help us to call this logging. So I'll define a log message, and here it so whenever we are calling this particular method, we'll take two parameters. One is the message and the level, and by default, let me just set this level to info. Okay, info. And here, so let me just add the condition. So if the level is equal to info, is equal to info, then just call that particular logging dot info, just log that info message. That's it, log that info message. So next condition, elif a level is equal to warning, is equal to morning. uh, I need to add that in quotes, is equal to warning, then logging dot warning, and I'm gonna set that particular message. All right, so next one more condition. So elif a level is equal to error, is equal to error, then set that logging dot error, and that is a message. All right, so let me just do control S, so this will be my logging. All right, so next important script is the workout generator. So let me just create a script called workout underscore generator generator dot py. All right, so here inside the workout generator, so it is basically help us to generate the workout plan. So first let me import necessary things. Okay, then I'll explain. So import os, then from LangChain, openai, import chat, C is capital and O is capital, openai is capital. So from LangChain, dot prompts, import a prompt template. So here I'll be using a prompt template, a prompt template, and from .env, from the .env, let me import load.env. And so even let's import the logging also, because for each and every script we're going to implement the logging. So from logger, this is what the module name is. From logger import, what is the method name we have defined? It's a log message. It's a log message. All right, so in this step, so here we start with importing the statements. So we need OS, which basically help us to access the environment variables like open API key. So next, we are importing the chat open AI, so which basically a wrapper around this open AI's chat models. So we have the OpenAI chat models. Okay, to add the extra features is like extra functionalities, we are using this LangChain OpenAI. So next we have the prompt template. So here which help us to define the prompts, basically the reusable prompts with some kind of placeholders. To implement that, we are just using the prompt template here. So next we are using this load.env, which basically loads the environment variable which we have defined inside the .env. So next we are just imported the log message over here. Okay, so now let's load the environment variable. That will be the first step. Let me just write down. So load .env, and so let's create a variable called openai API, sorry, openai API key, and this key is basically coming from os dot get env, okay, and this is coming from, so inside that dot env we have defined this name. Okay, so that is openai API key. All right, so in case if this key is not there, we will raise the exception, that is if not openai API key, if it is false, if it is not a key, then just raise an exception, that is raise value error, that is open API keys, open AI API key not found in .env. Okay, So this is very important. So make sure you just add the exact name over here. Okay. So the next step is let's initialize the LLM. Okay, which basically instantiates the GPT model. So to initialize the LLM, let me create a variable called LLM, and here we'll be using this what a chat OpenAI, which we have just imported from the LangChain OpenAI. And here I need to pass what is the model I'll be using. So model here I'll be using is GPT-4, GPT-4, and the next is the temperature. Let me just define the temperature. TMPERATURA, temperature, and the temperature I'll define is zero point 0.7. And next is OpenAI API key. So OpenAI API key. So this is what we need to pass. So OpenAI API key is coming from this OpenAI API key. Okay, so this is what the key I'm passing for this. Okay, for this LLM. Okay, so now let's define the prompt template. Let me just define the prompt template. So I have the code for that. Let me just paste it for the prompt template. Okay, so this is the prompt template over here. Okay, so here so here we have the three different variables. Okay, so that will be dynamically replaced. That is the fitness level, duration, and the equipment. So here, so this is what the prompt template, or you can say a prompt that is being designed. Okay, so here it will take three input variables. One is the fitness level, goal, duration, and the equipment. So here this is what the template is. So create a personalized workout plan for the fitness level that is being passed, individual, and whose level goal. Okay, the workout should last duration some minutes, and use some equipment. Provide the step-by-step exercise. Okay, so this is what the prompt template is. Now let's generate the workout plan function. Okay, which help us to generate the workout. So here let me just create a very important method. So I'll just define this method name as generate, GENERAT, generate workout. So generate workout, and here I'll just pass the fitness level, then the goal, then the duration, and the equipment. Okay, so this is what the parameters it will take. So first I need to mention the prompt. So what is a prompt? I'll be using the prompt template. Okay, so I'll just call this workout prompt that is being defined. So dot format, and here I need to pass the fitness level. So this fitness level. So this fitness level will be coming from the fitness level where the user will pass. The next the goal. The goal is equal to the goal, and next the duration is equal to the duration. So it's all passed by the user itself. And the next is equipment is equal to the equipment. Yeah, use the same name, so I'll just give the same name. All right, so now let me just, so this is the parameter that is being passed. Okay, here. Okay, so now let me just add the code. So try, and inside the try block, so let me just tell, so we get a response from the LLM, right? So response, so LLM dot invoke. So as soon as I invoke the LLM, so I'll be getting a response. Okay, that is being stored in the response. So here what I'm gonna pass to invoke the LLM, it's a prompt. All right, so here let me just log the information. That is, I'll just call that log message, and here let me just pass on the message stating that workout plan generated successfully. All right, so next here the return, and the return will be response dot content, response dot content. Okay, so this is what the return is. Okay, and let me just raise the exception. Accept exception as e, and let me just log the message. So I'll tell log the message. Let me just pass in the form of f string, that is workout generation failed. Okay, in case if there is kind of errors. Okay, and so here I will be returning in the form of string str, and here let me just pass the e, and here let me just send that error. Okay, error or error. Okay, and finally we're gonna return if it is coming into the exception. So what will return the error. That's it, error. And what is the error? So that will be of string format. Of the string, I'm gonna pass that particular error e. All right, so let me just save this. So everything is good here. Okay, so here what we're doing, we're just doing the import. Okay, we are just initializing the environment. We are initializing the LLM here. Okay, so before that we are just getting all the API keys from the .env file, that is open API key, and we just initialize this LLM. Okay, we have defined the prompt template, and we have created a method called generate workout. Now let's try to test this script. Okay, if everything is working good, let me just execute this. All right, so let me just run this. So here to run this, so make sure you just save it. Okay, I'll type here Python workout generator dot py. Okay, I have made the mistake. It's prompt template. Okay, Control S. Let me just rerun this. Here we did not add the execution test the function method. Okay, so here let me just add that. So if underscore name underscore is equal to main, we are just testing the script. Okay, underscore main, and here let me just call that test workout, and let me just call this method called test generate workout. And here I have to pass four things, right? So one is, let me pass the fitness level. So I'll just send this as a beginner, BIGINER, beginner, BE BEGININN, sorry, INN, beginner. The next thing we're gonna pass is the workout level goal. Okay, so goal is weight loss. Okay, let me just pass the weight loss. So next I need to pass the goal. I'll pass the goal as 30. Okay, and the duration, goal is this. Okay, duration is 30. Okay, duration 30 minutes, and the next is equipment. Okay, let me just equipment as body weight, something like that. Body weight. All right, so finally I'm gonna print that. So print the test workout. Okay, let me just save this and run the script once again. I'm passing all these test parameters here. So let's wait. Okay, it's telling it has function object has no attribute info. No attribute dot info. Let me just check. So even this also it's correct. Let me just rerun. Okay, so I'm getting this error. Let's fix this. Everything is correct here. Let me just, this is correct. Okay, let me just do save, Control S. Or if I go to logger, this is correct. Logging dot info, this is correct. Yeah, import logging dot basic config. File name is app dot log. It's logging correctly. The format is this log message. Message level is info is equal to info. This is also correct. Oh, sorry. It's not a log message. See, so this is logging. This is logging dot info. Okay, sorry. Control S. Yeah, now it should work. Let me just rerun this. All right, so you can see I'm getting the entire workout plan over here. Okay, so it's absolutely working fine. Fine. Okay, so now the next step, let's build AI chat agent, and even we're gonna store the user data. Okay, so first we're gonna develop AI chat agent that interacts with the user dynamically. That's what we're gonna build. Next, we're gonna store the user preferences in the database. Okay, we can use SQLite, and finally we're gonna build a fast API endpoint. Okay, so whatever it's running, so we're gonna build a front end for that. Okay, so first let's start with the AI chat engine for the personalized workouts. Okay, so for that, let me just go and create a chat agent. So let me just create a new file. I'll name this file as chat underscore agent dot py. All right, so inside this chat underscore agent, okay, so we're gonna use the same modules here, almost same modules. Let me just copy this, Control C, and let me just paste it here inside our chat agent. So we are importing the OS, we are importing chat OpenAI, and along with this, we don't need this prompt template here, but from the LangChain dot memory, from memory import something called conversation, because we are creating a chat, right? So conversation, conversation, conversation buffer memory, buffer memory. And from the LangChain, from lang chain dot chains, import, C is capital, import a conversation chain. Conversation chain. All right, so next we have this .env, and even we have logging. Okay, so here total we have 6 inputs. We're importing OS, we are importing the LangChain chat AI, okay, conversation buffer memory, conversation chain, and we are just loading this. Okay, next even we need to load the environment variables. Okay, let me just copy that from this, and even we need to have this open API key. Till here it's the same thing. Okay, let me just copy this, Control C, and I'll paste it. Okay, into Control S. Fine. So here even the initialization also same. Okay, so even but here let me just change the temperature also will keep same. Yeah, so this initialization till only the initialization is correct. Okay, let me just copy only the initialization, only this line, Control C. Okay, and let me just paste it over here. Okay, so here, so first we are initializing this chat OpenAI. So the model is GPT-4, temperature is 0.7, and we are low, and we are passing the key as well. Okay, so next we need to set up the memory. So I'll just create a variable called memory, and for this memory I'll just call this conversation buffer memory, conversation buffer memory, and we're going to initialize that buffer memory. And so here we're going to build the conversation. Okay, so I'll just create a variable called conversation, conver conversation, and here I'll use this conversation chain. And here I need two things. One is the LLM that is being defined. LLM is equal to LLM on the top, and the memory is equal to memory. Okay, just we have created memory is equal to memory. Fine. So here we're just initializing the AI model with the conversation memory. Okay, this is the initialization step for the conversation memory. And finally, we're building that conversation using the conversation chain, and we are passing the LLM as well as the memory over here. So now we need to create a method. Let me create a method called chat with AI. So let me just define a chat with AI. Chat with AI, and here I'm gonna pass user input, and here let me just add it inside the try block. We get a response, same. Okay, what we just typed it. Okay, we get a response from where we get it from the conversation dot run, and here we're gonna pass the user input. Okay, and here let me just log the message. So log message, and what is a message? So here I'll just log a message, AI response, and here I'm going to display that particular response. That's it. And finally, I'm going to return that response. Return the response. And if there is any kind of exception, I'll tell here except exception as e, then log the log message, and the log message over here will be a chat agent error. And what is that error? So that will be logged using the str of e. Okay, and that will be our error log message level. And the return, let me just return an error occurred, while chatting with an AI, with the AI. All right, so we can even test this. Okay, let me just add the test code over here. That is, if so here I've added the test. Okay, so even you can just keep this or remote, I think. Okay, even you can just keep or remote this. Okay, so this is for the testing. Okay, but whenever you're trying to combine that with the API, then it's not required. So here if underscore name underscore is equal to main underscore main underscore. Okay, so here, so while true, because this is a conversation chat site, so while true, the user will enter the input, right? So user will give the input. And what is the input? So I'll just call that input. Okay, and slash n, and I'll just mention here u. Okay, so if that user input, let me just lower that user input first, in the exit, okay, or quit. Okay, so or quit, exit or quit, then break that. Okay, then break the chat. Okay, then break that chat. Then response, what is the response? Response will be equal to, I'll just call that chat which I've defined on the top, that is chat with AI, and here we're going to pass that user input. And finally we're going to print, so what are we going to print? So we're going to print that response. I'll just tell here AI coach, and so what the coach will print? It will print the response. Okay, let me just save this. Okay, so this is my script for chat agent.py. Okay, so let me just run this now, if it is even working fine. So it's Python chat underscore agent.py. Okay, you can see I'm getting a conversation agent, so I'm getting a u. So I'll tell here I want a 15-minute home workout. Yeah, you can see, I mean, again I'm getting a repetition of this. Okay, it's absolutely working fine. You can see, so I got this. So AI coach is repeating that is sure. Here is a simple 15 minutes workout. You can do it at home without any equipment. So warm up 2 minutes, start with the jogging on the spot or jumping jacks for about 2 minutes to get your heart rate up. Then squats. Okay, stand with your feet shoulder width apart, then lower your body as far as you can, pushing your hips back and bending your knees. Okay, so it's just telling how to do the squats as well. Okay, so let me do exit. Okay, so here we have tell exit, so it will come out of from the right. All right, so now the next step, we have created a simple chat here. Okay, now let's store the user data in the database, because if the user here will take some user profiles like name, age, okay, some fitness goals, then we can take some record preferences. We can store this as a chat history. Okay, for that, let me create a script called database.py. So here, let me just create a script called database.py. .py. Okay, I already have a code for this. Let me just explain this. Okay, I'll paste and let me explain this. Okay, let me just paste this. This is a very big code. So typing will take a lot of time. Okay, so control S. Okay, so almost most of the section is just a repetition. So here this is a database. Okay, it's all related to database over here. Okay, the first step is we are importing all the required libraries here. Okay, like we are importing the create engine. Okay, so this is basically used to define the models and interact with the database. Okay, when I say models, like user, okay, work history and all those things. So we're creating the from this SQL Alchemy, right? We have importing the create engine, column, integer, string, and text. So then .env already have told you, which basically loads the environment variable like database URLs and all those things. And from the logging, let's import the logging. Okay, and here we need to set up, because we are using this SQL Alchemy. Okay, so here we need to set up something called a database URL. Okay, and so let me just go and set up. So database URL, I'll tell here database URL. And so what is the database URL here? So this is the default database URL you need to set. It's SQLite. It's SQLite. You need to mention 3 slashes. It's fitness DB. Okay, so fitness DB. This is what the DB we have defined by default. Okay, this is the database URL. We are not connecting with any of the local machine data SQL. Okay, so but we are just going with this the lightweight database. Okay, so it's a SQLite of fitness DB. All right. So here, so once this is done, so let me go to the database.py. Okay, so that's what. So here we are importing that information from that. Okay, that is a load.env file. All right, so first, again, same repetition. It's loading the environment variables. We are importing the database URL this time. Okay, so this is the database URL. So this is what the default one is. Okay, so in case if this fitness DB is not there, we'll try to, this is what the default one. Even though we have passed that, but in case we're not passing, if not mentioned that, we'll take a default one. Next, we are initializing the database engine and the session. So here the engines will handle the database connection. So create engine database URL. So it's similar to the MySQL. If you have know how to connect your MySQL with the Python, okay, it also works with same way. Okay, so we are creating engine database URL, and here then we are creating a session. Okay, so which is basically used to create database sessions. That's what the session local is. And so this is the base class for the model definitions. Okay, it's what the meaning of base is. So now here we are creating a user table. Okay, so this is what the different classes is. We are creating a user table, so which will basically record the name, age, fitness details, level, goal, and the equipment. Okay, so all the basic details. So next we have one more class called workout history, so which basically records the workout history, like user ID, which user ID it belongs to, and entire workout plan as well. And finally we are just initializing that particular DB with help of this method called initDB. Okay, and this creates the tables. It creates both the tables. Okay, so whatever you have defined over the table, this is the workout history, and here the table here is users. We will try to create both the tables. Okay, and so if it already exists, will not overwrite, but if there is, in case if there is no tables, we'll try to create tables from scratch. Fine. So then finally, so this is the code commands to add the user. This is the method like add user. So it basically adds a user to the DB and logs the outcome. Okay, so like so here we're just initializing that session, user session. Okay, log information exception, and this is the get user information in case if I want to get the information about the, if you want to retrieve the user details. Okay, and for some workout generation, then you can just get that, and even we can just save the workout plan also. Okay, and finally we are just executing the script with help of main. Fine, so this is simple. Okay, control S. All right, so now let's try to run this. Okay, so Python database.py, so I can find some, this entire script will get executed. So that is Python database.py. Okay, you can see, so table created and database initialized. If I just go to database, can see right now it's completely empty over here. Okay, there's a fitness db, and right now we have two tables. So even though we have not created that tables, you can see it got created as soon as I executed that script, that is the users table. Okay, and we have a workout history. Okay, so inside the user we have row id, name, age, fitness, so that whenever we build that front end, okay, we can try to connect with that database as well. Okay, so id, name, age, okay, goal, fitness, equipment. Okay, so and apart from that we have the workout history like row id, user id, and workout plan, and the common between these two is the user IDs. Okay, so this is working fine. All right, let me just close this. Now finally we're going to create API, so which is an API endpoint, so where the user can access, right? So let me just go and create. So I'll be using a fast API here. So API.py. Okay, let me just add the code, and meanwhile I'll just close all these files. All right, so I have the code for API.py. All right, so let me just paste it. Okay, let me save this. All right. So here, what is the purpose of this API? It's basically help us to do the user registration with some fitness preferences. Even we can fetch a user by name. Okay, even it uses an OpenAI to generate the personalized workout plan, and even we can store the generated plan in the database. And whenever it is required, we can retrieve that. Okay, so this is what the endpoint we're gonna create it. So here first we are importing all the necessary modules. Okay, from Fast API import the Fast API HTTP exception. From the Pydantic, import the base model. Okay, from the database, import the get user, add user, and the save workout. From we are getting this from the database. Okay, already we have defined that database.py. And from the workout generator, we have already defined a method called generate workout. And from the logging, we are importing the logging log message. Fine. So here, the first step is to initialize. That is, we are initializing the Fast API. App is equal to Fast API. So next we have the Pydantic model. Okay, so which basically uses a base model. Okay, so it's like type self validation. Okay, so base model is something, it's called a pydantic model, which help us to define the expected input. Okay, so we have the name, age, fitness, goal, and the equipment of the string data type. To inherit this kind of input from the user, we're gonna use something called base model. Okay, we are just inheriting that into our user request. That's it. Okay, so next, these are the different route. Okay, first we have a slash, then we have a register the user and trying to hit that particular methods over here. Okay, add user, and finally generate the workout plan. Okay, so this is also workout plan, and finally we gonna just even update all the logs and everything. Okay, and log the information. That's it. Okay, this is FastAPI server is ready. Okay, so these are still endpoints. Okay, so let me just do Control S, and let me just test this now. Let me just test this. Okay, to test this, make sure you just save this first, Control S, and here I'll type here uvcon, c u n u u n uvi, sorry, uvi uvcon corn api colon app reload and do enter. All right, the server is running. Let me just open this. I'll go and follow link. You can see root is absolutely working fine. So welcome to AI Fitness Coach API. I'll go to /docs. Okay, when this is working, first let's start with the register user. Okay, so I'll click on try it out. Okay, so here I need to provide all these details. Okay, so first I need to provide the user. Let me just add the user. I'll give my name. Name I'll give Imran. Age I'll give 22. Fitness level I'll just give here beginner. Beginner, and here the goal I'll tell weight loss. Weight loss. And here equipment I'll just tell this as a body weight. Can mention the equipments also. Okay, and let me just click on WEIJC. Okay, click on execute. Okay, so user registered successfully. Let me just go and verify. I'll go to the app.ay databases fitness.db. Yeah, you can see I'm able to see that inside the database. Okay, user. Okay, but he's in the workout history, it's completely blank because I've not generated the workout plan for this user. Okay, if I go to user table, you can see this about the ID and the name. Okay, now let's generate the workout plan for this user. So already we have the API endpoint for that. So this is my get, and try it out. What is the username? Username is Imran, right? Yeah, username is Imran. Username is Imran. Okay, and let me just click on execute. So it's executing. Finally, I got everything. Okay, username is Imran, goal, fitness, and all this workout plan. And if I just go here and verify, this is my user Imran. And if I go to workout history, not reflected yet. Okay, this is a workout history. Okay, so it should reflect user ID. Okay, here we don't have. Okay, so here workout history. Okay, from the front end we can do it. Okay, so this is the user, but here in this endpoint we are just testing what a workout dash username. Okay, but I'm able to get the name, fitness, equipment, and the workout plan for that particular user. Okay, so it's absolutely working fine. Fine. So now let's save this workout plan. Test imports, no. Test not there. All right. Hmm. We'll save this using the front end. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so now to add a front end. Okay, let me just quickly add two folders. I'll just name this folder as templates. Okay, and let me add one more folder. I'll just name this as static. Okay, so inside the templates, so I need many files. Okay, so first is the base.html. So next we have the chat.html. Just add all this html. Okay, chat.html, so that it's just a html code. So next we have the home.html. Home.html. So next we have a register.html. Register.html. Next we have the result.html. Then workout.html. Workout.html. Okay, so within the static, okay, let's add the styling. I'll add here styles.css. All right, so next, so we need an app.py, right, which basically a Flask. So here let me just go and create a new file. I'll just name this as app.py. Okay, so we need to add a code for all these things. Okay, let me just quickly add it. So first let's start with the base.html. Uh, Let me just quickly add it. Control A. Okay, so this is my base.html. Okay, base.html. Let me just open this. Control V. Okay, so base.html. Let me close it. So next, we have chat.html. This is a HTML code. Okay, just copy and paste the code. That's it. This is your chat.html. So next it is home.html. So Control C. This is my home.html. Where is the home? Okay, this is my home.html. Let me just go and paste it. Control V, Control S. Okay, so the next is basically register.html. So let me just close this. So next is register.html. Control V, Control S. Okay, so let me just stop this server. Control C. Okay. So register.html. Sorry. Control Z. Okay, I pasted that in app.py. Okay, Control A, Control X. This is the register.html. Control V, Control S. Okay, so next is I think we are left with a few more result. Okay, result and workout. Okay, Control A. So this is the result.html. And finally, we have one last HTML, that is workout.html. Workout.html. All right, so I have just added all the HTML codes here. Okay, so which is helping us for the Flask. Okay, for the front end, and we need the styling also now. Styling. Let me add the style code. So styles.css. Okay, and let me just save this. Okay, so here it contains all the style codes. Fine. And the next very important file, that is app.py. Okay, so this will be our Flask app. It's just basically connecting all our components of whatever we have designed so far. Okay, so let me just close this styles.css. Okay, so inside our app.py, okay, so here we have defined the Flask and the route endpoints. So we are importing the Flask database, okay, workout generator, and the chat engine. We are initializing the Flask, okay, and here we are just setting the chat history. Okay, first is the slash render html home.html slash register. Will take a user form and try to store that in the database. Okay, slash workout. Okay, slash workout slash result. Okay, so and these are the, and save the workout also. Okay, here we have implemented to save the workout, and finally slash chat. Okay, so we have all this endpoints over here. Let me just go and save this. So the next, I think we have added everything. Okay, let me just go and test this now. So yeah, everything is working, so we should see this. Just a second. Okay. So first, let me just run the server, and even we need to run the Flask also. Okay. So this is the place where I'm running the fast API server in the backend. And let me open the command prompt to run the Flask. First, we need to activate the environment. So here was the environment name I have given. So it's Euron AI Fitness V2, Control C. And here, let me just give here conda activate this. Okay, now let's try to run the Python app. Okay, so there's app.py. Okay, so Python app.py. So make sure it's in the same folder. Okay, where you have kept your app.py. Allow this. So everything got started. Okay, let me just go here and type here http 127. Let me go this. Not here. Okay, so this is the Flask. Just a second. It's 5,000 local host. Five thousand. Yeah, why I'm running this fast API? Okay, we have Flask. No, sometimes it's Control C. Okay, I'll see Control C here also. No need of Flask here, right? So I'm just running. No need of fast API. Okay, so directly I'm running the Python app.py. So it should basically trigger up in the 8,000 port. Okay, so if I just tell here localhost, yeah, finally I'm getting. So AI powered fitness coach. Okay, so here I am getting home, register, get workout, and the chat. And let me just click on to the register first. The name I'll tell here Sagar, all the basic details, and click on submit. Okay, so here I'll tell the Sagar because have generated the, let me just go and check whether the Sagar got registered. The fitness DB. Yeah, Sagar got registered. Can you see here? Okay, so here I'll just click on generate, and the now workout plan will be generated for the Sagar. So it's executing. Let's wait. Yeah, you can see I'm getting entire workout plan over here. Fine. So even I can just click on chat over here. So this is my chat, and here I can ask like tips. Yeah, tips for muscle gain, diet, something like that, and click on send. Even you can add the small icon, okay? So, but I've just added this way. Yeah, you can see I'm getting this, okay? Yeah, so you can see this is top you, and this is coach. This is how we even implemented that in the terminal as well, right? So it's absolutely working fine. So yes, so this is it's all about can see. So for the from the website, I mean like in the front end, so we have just workout plan also has been updated here. Okay, so yes, so we have successfully implemented this project. I hope you have enjoyed it. Okay, and you can just take up this project to next level by adding more and more features. So keep learning, keep growing. All the best. See you soon in the next new project.